Okay.
That's to remove the breast lump and send it to the lab.
It's too much.
So they have to carry a test on it to really examine the lumps, the cells, to know if they are cancer cells or they are not cancer cells.
Okay.
So at times, most times, it will even come out to be non-cancer, not cancerous cells. So that means we don't have any need to be worried. But what our people, most of our people do is that
most of our women.
So after the removal, they will not even care about the outcome. So there's need for you to really care about what that cells is made up of, to know if it's the benign one or the malignant one. So it's very, very important. Breast lump is one of the symptoms.
So what are the other signs we should look out for?
The other signs, for example, the nipple. If the nipple is pointed out at the initial time, and suddenly you now notice that it's not being inverted inside,
it's going
inside, is a sign or symptom that you should visit the doctor. Let the doctor reevaluate the situation. Then maybe any part of the breast that is drawing in, that's
like a nipple
drawing in, or the nipple is discharging. Maybe bloody discharge.
Could be
the nipple can even discharge milky discharge. It's okay if you are breastfeeding, maybe breastfeeding your baby, fine. But if your husband too is also sucking the breast,
he's helping the woman's ministry.
So you can also have that milkish discharge.
Even when you are not breastfeeding?
Yes.
Even when you are not breastfeeding?
Yes, as long as there's that suckling reflex,
there
will be milk let down. So the breast milk will be there. So during examination, if you try to press and you see a milk coming out, it's okay.
For
breastfeeding mothers, or when a guy is also sucking it.
So that you clear it well. Why you know?
Okay. Yes, we have to be very sure on this, because you know that some of them are still big babies. That still, let's leave that one down.
But there's one thing I always say is that you already know how your breast is. So every woman should know how her breast is, so that if there's any change at all, any change outside the usual way the breast is made up, you have to report.
You know, normally it's not in the nature of a woman. I've done a little bit of research on this, and statistics shows that it is not in the nature of women to always go to the hospital. It's just a handful of women that take the time to go to the hospital to say, okay, let me go and help ourselves. But we would rather use money on, we like fashion, we like clothes, we like stuff like that, we like competition when it comes to clothes. But taking care of ourselves is a huge problem. Women present when it is usually very late. And those who present early, I've also realized that from the little research I did, those who present early are those that went to the hospital for something different entirely.
And it was detected.
Yes, something different entirely, and then it will now be detected that, oh, madam, you need to see a specialist on this. Now, when a woman has been diagnosed with breast cancer, what's the next stage, Dr.
That would be Dr. Faboya saying that.
Okay, let me throw it back to Dr. Faboya.
Yeah.
Okay. I will start from what Dr. Eddie said, that every woman should know how her breast
looks like. You should know the nature of your breast, yes.
You should know. You know, normally, one breast is usually bigger than the other. But not very big. Slightly. But when you now notice that one is now unusually
very obvious,
very big than the others, you should know that maybe there's an issue there. So you should first of all know how your breast looks like, so that if there's any changes, you'll be able to quickly go to the doctor for the examination. So that breast self-examination is very, very important. So at the end of the day, let's assume
that's self-examination.
Yes, breast self-examination.
Okay, I'm going to take you up on that. I'll take Dr. Ehi and Cash. I like your name so much. You know, now that we are looking for cash everywhere, we need to hold you. Okay, go ahead, Dr. Faboya.
So So let's assume that it has not been diagnosed that you are having a breast cancer. It's not a death sentence.
Okay.
So their processing and their management outline, depending on the individual's age, then maybe the individual has finished family numbers and things like that.
Finished procreating.
So there's what we call chemotherapy. That's giving the person chemotherapy. There's a surgical aspect. If it's still limited to one part of the breast and it has not really spread, that's metastasized to the other part of the body, they can decide to remove that aspect. And we women, we should not just be saying, because some people, when it gets to that stage and they say, madam, please, we need to remove this one breast. You say, no, I beg. I came complete. And I want to go complete. I don't want to. No.
So that in the next ward they will come complete. Because if you remove the breast now, in the next ward, she will come without a breast.
So if that is the option, you should embrace it before it will now spread to the other area. By the time they remove it, there are other things that you can use to dress up that nobody will even know that there is no breast there. There are so many. In fact, there's a lot of packaging.
Silicone breast and the rest of that.
Implanted.
Yes, implants.
Implants that they can.
Depending on your. And it will still look natural.
Yes.
But will such a woman be able to breastfeed? But adventure, she has not had a child.
No.
She will not be able to breastfeed. But can she have a baby?
Of course, that woman can have a baby.
Will chemotherapy not destroy the cells, hormones and all of that? Will chemotherapy not stop that woman from having babies? Will it not kill all of those cells?
No, it's for a period. It's for a period,
it's not forever.
For life.
So long. Okay. Yes.
It's for a period. They have courses, maybe it will be 1 or 2, depending on the stage. Then before they will not do the surgery, then maybe at the end they will still place her on the chemotherapy or radiotherapy, depending on the area. So early presentation is very, very important.
Okay, early presentation is very important.
Yes.
Okay, this is where I would want to admonish women. Instead of using Oreoyo, because almost every woman have Oreoyo in the house, that shea butter. You know, once there's a lump like that, the next thing you see that woman packing all the Oreoyo in the market to rub on that place and be kabashing on that breast. You see the woman kabashing, praying and fasting. I'm not saying prayer does not work. At least I go to church, I pray. But we should learn to do the needful. Why don't you just adopt that cliche in the Bible? Give to Caesar what is Caesar and to God what is God. You know, I think if every woman does that when it comes to our health, a lot of improvement and living well will be our portion, since that is what we're praying for. Instead of praying, kabashing, and then going to churches. This is where I want Cash to come in. The role of religious leaders in a woman's health. In your advocacy for women's wellness, in all the outreach that you people have done on women's health and all of that, have you ever gone to churches to speak to pastors to stop allowing our women stay too long before presentation? I remember vividly a young girl was brought to chair. You know, my daughter was there on admission, and a little child was brought to chair. And the doctors just looked at the girl and said, this is BID, brought in dead, you know. Because the people came in the middle of the night, say about 12 or 1, and they were hitting the doors. You know, at that time, the door to the chair would be locked. They were hitting the doors and screaming, help, help. So the nurses came out to say, what? And then they saw the child, the doctors came, checked the child, and the child was already gone. What happened? The parent, the child was convulsing, and they took the child to church.
Sad.
This is from the parents. It's not Makey story. They took the child to church, and when the pastor saw that there was nothing he could do, they kept the child from morning, according to the woman, from early in the morning till about 9 o'clock.
Pulling out the demons.
till about 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yes, that was from early in the morning till
so
about
sad.
9 p.m. That was when the pastor released them to say, okay,
Let's
just go to church, let them give her, go to hospital, and let them give her drip to have strength. Meanwhile, he knows that there was nothing he can do. So, in all of this outreach, what is the role of the pastors, the role of religious leaders in a woman's well-being? Because women will like church way.
Thank you very much once again, Ma. When you asked me the first question, I think I remember I started with going to churches, mosque, marketplaces. I started yesterday, 28 or so, this yesterday Sunday.
Yes, 29.
We were in Saviour's, sorry, 29. We were in Saviour's Apostolic Grace Mission along Second West.
Okay.
So create this awareness.
That's just one church.
This one, yes. No, I just use it as an
example,
instance
yes.
that we've been to different churches, different mosques and markets to let them know that you praying inside and reading your Holy Quran or Bible or whatsoever religion you believe in will not really help.
Okay.
Compared to this early detection that our doctor just mentioned just now. So let it the not just the women now, not just the congregation, the clergy. The
leaders, the religious leaders, yes.
Know about it. Like the one you said just now, we've heard series of stories like that. Not just making like you said, real. So we are still using this medium to let them know once again.
Let them know very
yes,
well.
for me, churches, mosques, and markets we may anywhere within our families. Please, we beg of you, always go to the hospital. Like you said, women, we
know they go.
we
like
majority of us. If it's gay and all that party, we are ready to go. But please, we are begging you, go on time and check so that you will be on.
Okay, Doctor, there is this app. There is this app we're talking about. Okay, ask something before I talk about that app.
In our experience, we don't really have much problem with the Orthodox churches for concerning that.
Okay.
Like the Catholic, the Baptist,
all of those churches, that is okay.
Yes, we don't have much problems with them because they will tell you, oh, we have prayed, now go to the hospital.
Okay.
That's what the pastors will say. But where we have problems are the other very spiritual ones.
Okay.
But concerning this app, there's an app
that
you can download
on your phone.
On your phone, you can download from Play Store. So that's your phone. Use it for something more productive
instead of gossip and
instead
being
of
online
gisting and just be online all day. So you just download the app. The app is called Mami, M-A-M-I, Mami app.
Okay, Mami app.
So when you go to the Play Store, you see the Mami app and you just download it. So that Mami app just tells you everything you can do. It gives you the stage-by-stage processes of self-breast examination. So you can on your own examine your breast. So when we advocate and tell women when we go for our advocacies that just pick a day in a month that you will do your breast examination. So to just pick that day, but usually it has to be a day around the cycle, your period. Once your period has finished. So you just fix that date.
You cannot do it during period.
No, usually you don't do it during period.
Like how many days after your period?
Usually about 3 to 5 days.
3 to 5 days after period.
Yes.
Now they here now. 3 to 5 days after your period.
Yes. So you fix that day, and every month you are fixing that date and you're checking your breast on your own. So if you see any changes, there are so many changes that can happen. Redness, like she has said, there can be
any change that is not normal.
Usual.
Okay, that's not the usual
of what you because you already know your breast. So you just report it, and early detection, in fact, it will save a lot. So that app, I think that app is a savior. So if you can just download that app while you are just checking, to give you a reminder too. The app is wonderful to give you a reminder. Oh, it's time to check. You are on that date, and then you just check, you just examine. It doesn't take 10-5 minutes, and then if you see any problems, you can visit the hospital as soon as possible.
We now know what breast cancer is. We also know the signs and symptoms to look out for. We have also been told that early detection will save you a lot. It will save your life, because when it gets to that stage 4, stage thereabouts, it is just palliative that will be done. Even if they have to remove both breasts, it's just the palliative that will be done, and then we'll be counting time for such a person. So if you present early, it will be wonderful. So Dr. Toyin, one last statement before we leave now.
Early detection is the key. Learn how to examine your breast that's breast self-examination is very, very important.
Okay. Our beautiful cashier.
All right, one word for me. Please keep your breast safe. Allow your breast to breathe.
Allow your breast to breathe.
Really?
Stop putting money and all of those things.
Okay, for me, we still continue our advocacy. Tomorrow we're having advocacy and screening in.
Is it free?
Yes, it's free. Free.
Oh,
every time we're having free screening every time.
Screening.
So it's in the health center.
Tomorrow.
Yes, the health center that's opposite Edake Palace.
Okay.
Yes,
That's
Edake Primary School Road.
Okay.
So there's a health center there.
The
We're doing free screening.
Egwadake
Healthcare center.
Opposite
primary
school.
healthcare center. Yes.
Please, this time around, we're not paying.
Free.
It's free.
It is free. And all those free things, it's good for us to be taking advantage of them, knowing fully well of our stinginess, to ourselves. So let's take advantage of this free healthcare services that is going to be rendered to you as a woman. Before we leave, do men suffer breast cancer? Because while I was reading, I saw where it was said that some men do suffer from breast cancer.
Yeah, because because they also have the breast.
But it's very small percentage.
About 1%.
Yes, just about 1%.
What if women suck the breast too?
There's no sucking reflex.
For the man, it will not help the man, but what the man will do to the woman will help her. So please, let us change our attitude to health care. Let us change our attitudes as women. Breast cancer, in case you don't know, is one of the surest death line of a woman.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies, for finding time to be with us.
Fast.
All right, we'll see you again.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Wow.